Very good. Okay, very good.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. You know what that day is, right, boys?
Presidential debate.
That's right, presidential debate day.
Yeah.
Tonight, you will be able to see, finally, sleepy Joe Biden and angry Donald Trump going after each other on the stage.
And neither are on drugs.
Well, no.
Well, we
Joe
don't know.
won't
No
take
drug
tests.
test. Yeah.
Medication and drugs are very different things, boys.
Right. Good points.
They are certainly both on medication.
Good point.
But as we get ready to watch the partisan pieces of the country rip each other to shreds, I do want to point out, name another podcast that's on good terms with both Donald Trump Jr. and Andrew Yang. You can't fucking do it. It's only Hard Factor. That's the kind of balanced coverage you get out of us. That's the Barstool difference. That's what you should tell people when they're looking for a new news podcast.
We make friends on all sides of the aisle, and everyone gets a voice. In fact, I'm just going to say it now. Jo Jorgensen, we're interviewing her on Thursday.
That's right. All three parties.
Jo
Look at
Jorgensen
that.
interview on Thursday. We'll release it either Friday or Monday. But Jo Jorgensen also going to love us, I have a feeling, and vice versa. It's going to be an awesome interview. So how about that?
We're going to get Biden. I can feel it. We're going to get him.
You think
We're on
so?
a roll. Well, the smart money's on. Come on the show and do it because you'll have a good time.
Well, I think you need to do a
reach an
pizza
audience.
review with
Yeah.
Dave, because Dave did a good job with incumbent President Trump. Maybe he can do a good job pizza review with Joey Bides. We'll see.
Everyone is welcome on the show. Don't be afraid.
Yep.
Beef, you got a technical issue over there. You're yanking at cords. What's happening, pal?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. I'm fine.
You look, you know.
Is this going to cause a problem on the back end?
Getting pretty fuzzy there.
No, I'm a happy camper. Everything's good. Everything's great. Everything's good. Everything's
Your
great.
face is telling me a totally different story. Your face is
I agree.
not
We
telling
might
me
get
that.
Biden. We might get Biden. I agree. I think any other year, any other election year, we're definitely getting Biden. If the strategy was not hide your candidate and or limit his press intration.
We'll
Well,
take
we got
Kamala.
his proxy.
We'll take Kamala. We'll take
We got his
Kamala. We'll take
proxy
Mike Pence.
Yang.
Yeah.
and we'll take other proxies as well. Also, we got cousin Mike. Don't remember he's going to be on chopping up the analysis of the debate post debate. So we'll have that.
Did you
on live stream at least?
Did you just try to say don't forget, but said don't remember?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said don't remember.
My brain is getting worse and worse by now.
Never remember.
Don't remember. We got cousin Mike on. Don't remember.
Don't remember that. But yeah, do watch the live stream tonight of the debate because we're going to have probably like drinking game rules, or if you're not drinking, maybe you have to do push-ups or sit-ups or something like that when things happen. If they bring up Hunter, that's going to be a lot.
Ooh.
It's going to be a lot of whatever we do.
I was looking up the ratings, the all-time, Nielsen ratings or whatever. So the highest ratings of all time were Super Bowl 49, which were it was 114 million and 442,000. And the highest ratings for any presidential debate was 84 million back in 2016. I think there's a chance that this thing breaks the
With
ratings
everybody at
of
home,
all time.
yeah.
I do too. But you guys, I have a full section on the debate preview.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
all right. Well,
Okay.
we're just so fucking excited about the
Yeah, yeah.
debate. Sorry, we got
Sorry.
other stories to get to as well today. Pat, get us going on the first biggie.
All right, guys. The New York Times broke a story on Sunday that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, paid just $750 in taxes in 2016 and an additional $750
Total?
in taxes, federal income tax.
Total?
Yeah, total.
Man. He needs
As
to
in,
teach,
like, with
teach a
help from the
course on how to do that.
So what did he make? Like $10,000?
A lot of cash. A lot of cash. 472 million from yeah, a lot of cash. He's an alpha cash daddy. This is definitely creative accounting, boys. Tough. If
That's a
you're
good
poor.
deal he got from the U.S. government. None of
That's
us have gotten that deal.
Amazing.
He must have had like 3,000 cell phone bills that he wrote off.
A lot. At least. Because that's the only write-off we know about. But if you're rich and you have good accountants and you don't want to pay taxes, this is the country to come to. Maybe, right? So obviously there's been creative accounting with a lot of rich-ass people for a long time, right? That's why they stay rich. But things might be a
Yeah,
little more.
doesn't like Amazon. That's everybody's favorite
Amazon-
thing. They don't pay a single dollar. in
Amazon
taxes.
doesn't
Isn't
pay
that the-
taxes. Yeah.
Isn't that the thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Us, we've done some creative accounting.
Oh, for sure. If you've been an independent contractor in your life, you've done some creative.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
taxes.
as bad as this, but yes.
No, of course not.
Yeah. The worst part is that, well, we'll get into it. According to the New York Times, quote, he has paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years, largely because he reported losing much more money than he made, right? So that's how it works.
Now, this came up last election about the debt and the bankruptcy, because the bankruptcies were public record, not the taxes. Right?
So I did a little research on that part of it because before, we got hired by Barstool. Thank you, Barstool. Independent contractors, and we're still not, making a ton of money. But before that, we were doing some stuff on the side, like podcasting and stuff, and making zero money or negative money, right? Mm-hmm. And I read that you can only have like businesses that make negative money 3 years in a row. After that, you have to.
What about a new business that loses more money?
I guess you have to switch up the business names and stuff like that. But you can't have like the same business losing 3 years in a row, or that's like a tax loophole. They're like, stop. You have to just chew the tax loss.
Oh, Mark, your nubile Googling and very limited foray into tax law is why that we are poor and they are rich. Yeah. Essentially, Trump lost $1 billion at some point, and you have like an 18. Look, I'm not an expert on it. The overall thing here is creative accounting. I guess when you lose cash and a ton of it, you have like 18 years that you can apply it towards taxes. Trump has been getting as creative can be. In a letter summarizing the Times findings, Alan Garden, a lawyer for the Trump Organization, said, quote, most, if not all, the facts appear to be inaccurate. He went on to say, over the past decade, President Trump has paid tens of millions of dollars in personal taxes to the federal government, including paying millions in personal taxes since announcing his candidacy in 2015. And according to the Times, quote, with the term, quote, personal taxes, however, Mr. Garden appears to be conflating income taxes with other federal taxes Mr. Trump has paid, Social Security, Medicare, and taxes for his household employees.
So I'm confused. Did he pay his taxes or not? I'm very confused.
No, he didn't. So he's been mega creative accounting. But the issue, guys, here is this. Trump apparently is under an audit right now, which could, if it goes the wrong direction, I think is like the tune of $300 million that he could potentially owe. There's also been
By
a lot
who,
of
the IRS?
Yeah, to the IRS.
Come
He
on.
also
So they're auditing their boss. Give me a break. This is like as close as you get to being a journalist in Russia.
I hope he gets they repo the White House from him.
Who the fuck at the IRS is going to audit Trump?
That's why Trump has said that he can't release his tax returns is because there's an audit pending. But here's the interesting thing, right? So like Trump is essentially, what is the term? Paying Peter to feed Paul or whatever, stealing from, he's juggling plates for lack of a better
Moving
analogy.
stuff around, basically.
He's like the
Exactly.
Ponzi scheme, kind of.
Kind of.
Well, when you report that many losses, I mean, like we were talking about, you got to have. So I was thinking, can you just become a billionaire by claiming you've lost a ton of money, and then with the money you save, buy more stuff and actually lose money, and then you never have to pay taxes?
Yeah.
Capitalism.
If you have good accountants. So I guess Trump was making like 400 and something million from The Apprentice. And the big thing, guys, is there was a speculation that essentially the majority of Trump's income, which comes from licensing his name, right? Like Trump's not like an actual businessman in terms of like setting up deals necessarily, but he's built a brand under his name. So that's how he makes his cash.
Well, he's got like hotels. He's got golf courses. He's got
all of
makes
which
deals.
He's got all sorts of
all
stuff.
of which
He makes
lose.
deals all the time.
Yeah, but his main source of income is putting his name on stuff, not necessarily like
making money. Like selling.
Yeah,
his
no, he's making
brand.
cash. I guess that's a deal. I'm not
Getting a
yeah.
portion of whatever deal that is, right?
Yeah, all of his income though on those
Books.
those properties lose a ton of fucking cash all the time, which is partly how he's able to be in a situation where he doesn't pay federal income
so
taxes.
he's reporting all those losses, but is the situation he's over-reporting losses?
Dude, it's so fucking complicated. He has hundreds of businesses. He lost, we know that like the money that his dad gave him for that casino that went bankrupt in New Jersey, that was a major fucking loss that he was able to.
I think like you mentioned, like short of like having years of tax law under your belt, the four of us spending a couple hours researching it aren't going to get too far.
No chance.
Into it, right? So like, the real question is,
I'm never going to understand tax law.
Right,
I'll just go ahead and say it right
exactly,
now.
Never. Let's say it's somewhere in the middle. It's a gray area, and he's using some creative accounting, but it's legal because of the loopholes in taxes. Is this a big deal or not? I guess is the question.
I think that the reason it's a big deal, right, is because Trump runs and ran his campaign, and part of his personality is I'm a successful business person. But it turns, you can't have it both ways. So that's the idea. If you're a successful business person,
he
you're
definitely declared bankruptcy at least twice, right?
more than once, yeah.
But
I
he
guess,
exaggerates. He exaggerates on the size of his crowds. He exaggerates on how much money he makes. That's not it. What matters is how much money he made or lost, and then how he applies it to the tax.
Right. So we don't know if it's legal, and we won't find out during his presidency. We won't find out.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if he wins, we will.
Well,
but
Right. You don't know. Well, the audit
Yeah,
would be
it's
hilarious.
just
What if he wins and then they repo the White House? Like I was saying, he's not allowed to go inside until he pays his taxes.
Let me pop through some of the higher.
They're removing the new things at the Rose Garden that his wife did, that Melania did.
Oh no, we paid for that,
bushes.
not him.
Yeah.
So real quick, a couple key points here. It was speculated that his licensing income was drying up around 2015. So it's speculated that, for a lot of people were saying this, like one of the reasons he ran for president and took it so seriously, because he knew that it would be a great PR move and bolster his brand, which is how he makes most of his money. He also lost, let's see, 970, what is the exact number here? It's an insane amount of money. From the years 1985 to 1994, he lost $915.7 million, which is the more than almost any other individual American taxpayer. And he also
He's claiming the most losses. You got to wonder the accuracy, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the issue is this, right? So it's like you can't have it both ways. You can't be a successful businessman and lose so much money that you pay $750 in taxes. And also, he is living a lavish lifestyle, and he is actually wealthy. So the creative accounting that's getting him to $750 is fucked up. So whether it's legal or not, we'll find out.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us will ever be able to even get it because we don't even
Sounds
ever
fishy.
understand it.
Sounds
Yeah,
fishy.
he is-
I tell you what he does is he owes Wesley Snipes an apology.
Yes, he does. Yeah, everybody owes Wesley Snipes an apology.
That motherfucker spent 3 years in jail. Come on.
Yeah, Wesley
In
Snipes'
China, he
lawyers
would be
weren't good enough.
black bagged for sure by
Right.
the tax agency.
That's
true.
right. And then that schlub from New York Housewives or whatever, like the husband, he went to jail.
Yeah, the Italian guy.
Yeah, the Italian guy. Like, if you're sending people to jail for this shit, you maybe just it's like the weed thing. Like, maybe tone it down with the prison sentences for this.
Well,
Doesn't matter, though, guys. Well, one other thing that I thought was very hilarious is obviously Trump took a lot of creative deductions. My favorite one was a $70,000 deduction to take care of his hair, which checks out, if you ask me.
That's awesome.
We've never
That's
seen
awesome.
his bald spot.
Yeah, I read he was
put some
like
research in.
Pays
Like,
top
it was
dollar
like,
for that.
I read like every piece of food that he put in his body went towards a deduction because he needed to eat to do his job. Like all that, like he deducted.
That's a lot of KFC and hair research and development.
He deducted everything, every article of clothing, every wet wipe he used. You know, like every single thing went to him putting energy into his job, which is one of those loopholes where you can deduct pretty much anything.
Oh yeah, I deduct everything too. But is it really, is the left more concerned that he, lied about being a good? I don't think that's what they're concerned about with these taxes. It's not that he lied about being a good businessman. It's that he's cheating. Like
Is it legal or not?
He's not. Yeah. Is
Well,
it
it's the same
legal?
thing.
And
Do you want
they
the
brought it-
president to not pay taxes?
But they
even
brought
though
it up.
you are,
Look.
if you're making $80,000 a year and you're paying 30%
right.
in taxes.
That's Biden's
isn't
big
that
new ad
isn't that
campaign.
infuriating to you?
That's
if
what I'm
you're
saying.
paying-
That's what I'm asking. It is
should
annoying.
Be. It shouldn't be left or right if you're paying.
But
five
if he
figures
did
in
it,
taxes.
if he did it legally, I mean, he's just
Look,
he's
they
just
brought it
smarter
up-
in it. I
Come
guess.
on.
They brought it up in 2016. Hillary accused him
If you
of
could
not
do it,
paying
you would,
taxes.
Mark, and so would I. Let's just be honest.
No, well
about
then
it.
everyone should be able to do it. Then is
Well,
the thing.
And if everyone does it, then the system doesn't work.
Then you don't have roads.
Right, then you don't have
roads.
taxes.
Right.
So
Then get rid
they
of
brought it up.
taxes,
They
which
brought
I'm
it up
for.
in 20. They brought it up in 2016. Hillary accused him in the debates of never paying taxes. To which he responded, "Well, that makes me smart." So I think he's going to stick with that same defense.
That's exactly what he's going to say.
I agree with that. It sucks that a lot of hardworking people. Don't,
I agree with that.
They just pay
None
their
of us will
taxes.
ever
I
get
agree.
that deal. Just
I
like
just don't-
probably nobody listening.
Right. I don't think it's about him lying about being a great businessman. I think it's more about that than anything. Like,
He's a
Yeah,
great
I mean,
tax
it's
returner.
about him being a hypocrite and a fraud potentially. So regardless, let's take it to the internet real quick, guys. Donald J. Trump says the fake news media, just like election time 2016, is bringing up my taxes. and all sorts of other nonsense, which illegally obtained information and only bad intent. I pay millions of dollars in taxes, but was entitled, like everyone else, to depreciation. And he goes on for like fucking 4 tweets.
How did they obtain that information? That does sound pretty shady.
So the only data they had on Trump's taxes were in 2016. Someone sent 2 years of tax returns to the Times anonymously. The Times also acquired anonymous data here. So I trust their reporting because they're stringent.
Obtained.
But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not legally obtained.
Someone in the IRS, like, oh man, that's shady.
And guys, doesn't matter. At @real_defender says, the more the fake news media attempts to smear Donald Trump, the more I am motivated to support him. So there you go.
I kind of actually think that guy's got a point. Like it is going to rally.
Except for it's
troops.
the New York Times. It's not fake news media necessarily. They're just reporting what they found. But yes, it might rally the wagons.
The sentiment makes sense though. You keep it's almost like the crying wolf thing. Like if you cry wolf 5 million times, then the one time where there is a wolf, no one cares. And
Yeah, I think that's what Real Defender.
RD's got his finger on the pulse right there.
That's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move it along to another story. More trouble in Trump land. Florida Man Friday coming a little bit early today. We've got a Politico in Florida, a Florida man who is a political, I don't know about savant, but he is in politics. In Fort Lauderdale, Brad Parscale. He is the former Trump campaign manager who's been taken into custody after a very alarming incident at his home earlier this week, I think Sunday, where his wife felt threatened by Parscale loading guns and cocking them in her face, and then potentially firing. Yeah, pretty good reason to be scared.
Her spidey senses were working.
Yeah,
I guess I shouldn't hold out hope for this guy responding to my cease and desist email.
No, he's gonna be busy.
He's done, Pat.
Hadn't heard back from him. Was curious. Was going to send a
He's got a lot of
follow-up
things
to Brad.
No, he's got a lot of legal issues, a lot of things to catch up on here after this incident. So he was also potentially firing warning shots. Yeah. Parscale is a senior advisor on the Trump campaign team currently, but he formally lost his campaign manager job in July after he idiotically scheduled a Trump rally in Tulsa on Juneteenth, which then had to be rescheduled to the next day after public pushback, because obviously that was a bad idea. Candace Parscale, Brad's wife, she's the one who called the cops to the scene after she fled the home into the yard, stemming from a verbal argument with Brad. She was also concerned that he was suicidal when she called 911. She told the cops
she was also running in crisscross patterns and praying that she got away.
Pretty much. Well, she was in the yard. I mean, she stayed on the property, but yeah, it was
Serpentine!
Nervously pacing. Yeah,
I know he can't hit diagonals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she told the cops that he drinks and suffers from PTSD, which was also apparent from the gunshots and screaming coming from inside the house.
He's not very accurate, but he does have a lot of ammunition.
Yeah, but he's persistent.
He's a veteran.
Maybe. He's 6'8". I didn't look up his
that'll give
military
you post traumatic something disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stems back from those playground days when they called him Freakazoid or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big boy.
Lurch.
So during the incident, Parscale was drunk.
Yeah, Lurch.
Parscale was drunk, obviously drunk, arguing with his wife, and then she was outside talking with the cops, trying to get him to come out forever. And he finally agreed to come out after a long time. The cops have been on the scene. His wife's out there freaking out.
I'll come out, but I'm not going to put clothes on.
No, he didn't. He was shirtless in board shorts with a beer in his hand.
Of course.
And then he tried to hey man, I'm just another dude. I didn't do anything. And then immediately all the cops who were waiting for him just tackled him. It was like a hilarious form tackle from one guy, and then they all got him on the ground because there was allegedly he was firing off the gun, potentially could harm himself, harm somebody else. Firearms involved, and he's blackout drunk.
And he's an intimidating fellow, as we mentioned.
And not a veteran, just a member of Trump's team, which is high stress.
Yeah. Okay. So his wife had some bruising on her body, but she insisted to the police that he did not give her the bruises, despite Candace being unlikely to press any type of charges against her mentally ill husband for this incident. his 10 firearms that he had inside the house were confiscated by the cops as he's been deemed a potential threat to himself and others after the incident, which seems very fair considering how hammered he was when he came out of the house. Yeah. So
they used the same. They used the same thing they used on kindergartners down there, the Baker Act, where they just
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently it was after the Stoneman Douglas incident that police can just tell a judge, hey, this guy's a problem for the society. We need to take his guns away.
Yeah.
Well, so like, obviously mental health is a huge issue and nothing to make fun of, but are we sure it's mental health or was he just hammered?
Well, I mean, you'd think if he gets if he's blacking out to that point and that aggressive with his firearms, he probably has some mental issues.
Yes.
Well, sure.
For sure.
But I mean, is he? I mean,
What are you trying to say? I don't know.
Firing guns
maybe he should stop drinking.
and threatening.
Well, of course, but that's also a mental health issue, right? If he's got a severe
ordered
drinking problem.
I mean, it's firing guns and getting drunk to the point where you're to harm yourself. That's
Can't you court order someone to not drink, like to go to rehab and stuff? Like that seems like.
Well,
yeah,
the
you
wife
can-
would
I
have
think
to
you can
press
order it.
charges. The wife would have to press charges.
Well, the state can certainly press charges without the wife doing anything. The state could step in.
Yes, for sure.
The DA could step in. At
Perhaps
any
they
point.
will.
Yeah.
Perhaps they will. Well, his guns are gone for now. When Brad finally realizes what he did while he was blacked out, boy, is he going to need to take a few plays off. Maybe just move to a Buddhist monk colony for a while and just totally reset your brain. Or he could try an alternative way to chill like Caliper CBD. Nothing in
King
the
of
world.
the segue.
Nothing in the world could be more chill than a Buddhist monk who just ingested the perfect 20 milligram serving packet of Caliper CBD. Relaxing, chill, washing over him in a serene silence. It makes me feel.
That's nirvana.
Exactly, right? It makes me feel like a Buddhist monk every time I take a packet of Caliper CBD. I'm transported to a relaxed paradise in my mind's eye. My chakras are aligned. My chi is perfect. All of it. Caliper believes everybody deserves a simple way to feel better. Unlike CBD oils, Caliper powder is completely tasteless and mixes easily into any food or drink. No weird taste, no oily residue, or weird mouthfeel. Tinctures are gone. It's clinically proven that you absorb 450% more Caliper CBD with the powder compared to the tinctures. Like I said, tinctures are just toast. Forever. Done. Caliper has killed them.
You have to be crazier than Brad Parscale to take a tincture.
You really would. It makes no sense. I mean, it just makes absolutely no sense when Caliper CBD is available to you and it's affordable in 30 and 60 count packets. Individually packets gives you the benefits of CBD wherever you go. Very portable. Caliper CBD is completely THC free, all natural and no GMO ingredients. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code FACTOR at trycaliper.com/factor. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund, which you will love it, so you don't need that. That's trycaliper.com/factor. Don't forget promo code FACTOR for 20% off your first order.
Okay, guys, Will and I didn't plan this out, so sorry, but back-to-back ad reads here. I'm going to try to get through it quick, though. So this next story is brought to you by PredictIt, the only place to gamble on the news, and you can gamble with us and get a free $20 to do so if you go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20, create an account and deposit at least $20. You'll get a free 20. No promo code. You got to use that promo URL. If you don't use that promo URL, you won't get the free 20. Now, you're going to want to check out our blog on the Barstool website titled Election Season Betting Odds and Locks. Thanks, Bubba, for getting that together. Responsible locks, by the way. Bet responsibly. In fact, I'm not even going to get into any of the hundreds of markets you can bet on at PredictIt. Just go check out that blog, Election Season Betting Odds and Locks, and then tune in tonight to our pre- and post-debate coverage and analysis. And then tomorrow morning, with that information from the blog and the analysis from the debate, make your selections.
Oh,
on the
it's going to be perfect time to bet is right after the first.
So we're not even going to talk about any markets today.
Yeah.
But go to www.predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20, deposit at least 20 and get that free $20. And the first debate is here, as we can't stop giddily talking about. We needed a win in 2020. This feels like a win to me. Wasn't sure we were going to get here.
Football season coming back, despite the haters of football, was the first huge win.
And who were those haters of football? Was it Wes and Pat?
It was the powers that be. Well, Pat, you do owe me the 50, by the way.
All right, I'll send you that Venmo.
Look, the fall.
Not a
look,
hater of football.
The fall was turning around. We did an awesome fall, best of fall on the radio yesterday. The fall bringeth football. The fall bringeth debates. The first presidential debate will go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time today, Tuesday, September 29th, 36 days before the presidential election. And although more people are on the ballot, the debate will only be between President Trump and Democratic candidate Joe Biden. Like we mentioned earlier, we got a presidential candidate on later this week. Maybe we'll do our own little presidential debate excluding those two guys since they excluded Joe Jurgensen. And we'll get that out later. But tonight's debate, just Trump and Biden, and it will be pretty hard to miss the debate as it will be airing for free on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, PBS, Telemundo, Univision, CNN, MSNBC, C-SPAN, YouTube, and all of those network streaming services on like Amazon, Roku, and whatever else you
That's
have
just
that streams.
some of them, too.
That's just some of them. If you can't find the debate, your job is going to be taken over by automation if it hasn't already. You're just fucked.
That's true. That's a litmus test to see if you can survive in the world.
If you can't find this fucking debate, I have nothing for you.
Which also, Wes, though, it's not going to break ratings, smash ratings records because it's over too many platforms. They won't be able to figure out
total. Yeah, they'd
how
have
many
to.
people watch.
They'd have to
They can
total
add
all.
it. They can add it up.
Yeah, what are they doing?
I'm with Wes.
I
Who's
don't think
paying
that's how-
them if they can't do that?
That's not
Yeah.
how TV ratings work, is it? They don't include streams.
Well, no, you can. I mean, you can add up the network's ratings. I think for the yeah.
I don't know.
Total viewers. I don't know. Pat would know more probably than
I mean,
any of
I'm
us, but-
sure they have some idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's everywhere. You can find it everywhere.
It's going to smash records. The debate is hosted by Fox News anchor and man with pleasant voice, Chris Wallace, and it's scheduled to be 90 minutes. Wallace already pre-selected the topics, and there are 6 of them. They are Trump and Biden's records, I guess like on voting on stuff. I don't know. Trump and Biden's records, the Supreme Court, the coronavirus, the economy, electoral integrity, and race and violence in our cities. So that's a fun one.
Wow, that's jam packed.
Yeah, climate change, not a topic for the first debate. And based on how angry the internet is over that that emission, I'm pretty sure it'll be on the second debate, climate change. So hang on.
I see people getting upset, but Chris Wallace is a great moderator. I see
pumped.
people saying like he's going to be skewed. Give me a break. Like he's given Trump one of the hardest interviews he's had over the entire first term. So
if Chris Wallace ends up coming out years from now that he's been sexually assaulting women, I give up because he seems like a good dude.
he asks good questions.
Yeah.
You never know.
I take it back. Trump, who earlier said he would not practice for the debates, said on Sunday that he was in fact prepping for the debates with the assistance of personal attorney and former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, and former governor of New Jersey, and all-you-can-eat restaurant owner's worst nightmare, Chris Christie, who are both standing in as Biden, which is hilarious.
Giuliani for Biden is actually a pretty good replacement.
It's not bad.
It's going to give you a pretty decent preview.
He says off the wall shit.
You're going to have as many. Can you repeat that for sure?
Rudy,
Trump.
do you think Biden's going to reveal incriminating information that he knows about me? Sorry, he's the worst lawyer of all time. Because Rudy's the fucking worst, and that's what I imagine Rudy's probably doing in the mock debates is revealing information he should be locked under
I'm
lock
just
and key
talking
as his
about
attorney.
right. Well, Biden also the same deal. He's just going to be like aloof and not remember. Like he'll just move from
So
place to place.
he probably should have just stuck with Giuliani because with Chris Christie, he's going to be like looking at Biden's hand, looking for like a big turkey leg that's not there.
Right.
Trump
Christie's not going to give you a good preview. Yeah.
No, he's got stains all over him. Trump also claimed that those 2 debate helpers are about 5 times smarter than Biden. So he said, he's going to be running circles around Biden after he preps with those 2 geniuses. The debate is going to have a COVID look to it, guys, as Trump and Biden will be standing at opposite podiums, like on opposite sides of the stage, both facing outwards to the very limited audience. And in between the limited audience, I believe, and the 2 podiums on opposite sides of the stage will be Chris Wallace sitting at like a desk chair type thing. So it might have a weird look to it.
It's like super spread out stage.
Right. But it's happening, which is great. There will be no handshake, which breaks precedent of the past like 50 plus years. But that does not mean the 2 spry athletes won't lock hands, as there will surely be a few arm wrestling challenges thrown out in the 90 minutes.
You can only hope.
Yeah, like a feats of strength, maybe. Who knows? Push-ups. But yeah, they're not going to be wearing masks, but they're not going to be shaking hands. And it looks like, all signs are pointing to electricity, guys. We are pumped, and you definitely want to tune into our pre-show where we will go live 30 minutes before the debate. So that's like 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on StreamYard, and we'll get the links out for that on Twitter and Instagram and however else we can, maybe through a blog or something. And then we will watch the debate and come back with a 30-minute post-debate analysis with cousin Mike Portnoy. And like Will hinted at earlier, we're going to come up with some sort of drinking rules, I think, and maybe release a blog in the afternoon today so that if you want to, watch the world burn while getting
Play
a buzz
along.
on.
We'll also have the rules of whatever we're playing up like in between on the stream. So like if you're on the stream, watch the pre-show, then you can just look at the rules. They'll just be posted there while the debate's going on.
Yeah, we got a
and then
ticker
we'll come
going.
back.
Maybe the ticker can just have the drinking rules or whatever going.
Yeah. Well, while the debate's going on, we're not
Right.
going to be on the stream. So there's just
No,
gonna be,
it'll be a title card with a ticker.
yeah.
But that's it. Get pumped, y'all.
Also, more on that. Back to the Trump, what he was saying about the Christie, I guess about Biden being nothing compared to Christie. Christie's involved because his former governor campaign manager, Bill Stepien. I don't know. He's the current Trump campaign manager. So he did Chris Christie governor campaigns and then the Trump 2016. He wasn't the manager on the 2016, but he worked on that campaign. Then the Biden campaign manager is Jen O'Malley Dillon. She most recently worked on Beto's presidential campaign with the Whataburger branding. You guys remember that, of course.
Sure.
And then before that, she was on Al Gore and John Edwards campaigns. Lots of losses.
Three-time loser.
Yeah. Lots of
bad losses there. At least she worked on.
She must be a great interviewer.
She worked on the Obama re-election win, but not as the campaign manager. So, I was surprised when I looked up and saw that it was so.
Did
For what it's worth.
Did she work for Dukakis too?
Yeah.
No, but Gore and Edwards and then Beto presidential. That's quite a trio.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Beto to Biden. Jesus, that's not a smart move. All right, guys, this one was sent in from @Tank Barstool. As always, Tank, we appreciate you tagging us in these. This one was a shoo-in for What the Fuck Wednesday, but we decided to let it rip today, and glad we did. So, guys, have you seen this TV show Dexter, right?
Yeah,
you
of
guys
course.
familiar with it?
Yeah, serial killer guy.
Yeah.
He
It's about
only kills other serial killers.
Yeah, well, it's about a guy he's like a blood splatter expert. He's a cop, and when he finds out someone got away with a heinous crime, he takes matters into his own hands and offs them, vigilante style. So lots of blood, violent, not something you want your kids to watch, or in this case, not something you want a couple of young lesbians from Portugal watching, because apparently the show had quite an impact on the two, saying it inspired them to seduce, drug, strangle, and dismember a 21-year-old hotel worker in order to steal his inheritance, valued at $77,000.
Well, that's not like the show, though. That's
No,
just
wait.
a bad crime.
Not at all like the show.
What is the 21-year-old a murderer? Was he a murderer?
Nope. That's where they it's not like the show at all, Mark. You're right. Yeah,
They're just serial
murders.
killers. Or
Yeah, they're just-
Did you recently watch
one-time
Dexter or
killers.
something, Wes?
Did I?
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah, no, way off.
No, they're
way off here.
citing. They're citing.
They're citing Dexter, which makes
Yeah.
no sense. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make.
They
sense.
like the killing of Dexter, but that's about where it stops.
Yeah, they could have cited anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They'd be like,
why didn't they just cite anybody else?
Yeah,
My
Yeah.
favorite
it's like-
part's the acting. I don't know about them.
be like, we love our butcher, our neighborhood butcher. Yeah. So they got the murdering part and violent part down, right? But no attention to the fact he was just an innocent guy. Their murder was based on greed and callous, not justice at all. So the lesbian lovers, 19-year-old Maria Malverio and her lover, 23-year-old Mariana Fonseca, who is a nurse, are very naughty lesbians. And I'm not going to lie, there's something a bit hot about all this. It's probably just the young criminal lesbian aspect, I'm guessing, but
You think?
yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, this crime actually took place back on March 18th, but I guess COVID delayed the trials, so that's about to begin, and the evidence is being leaked to the public. So what happened? This poor bastard, 21-year-old Diego Goncalves, suffers from the same affliction.
Gonzalez, it's got to be, right?
Goncalves.
I think that's Gonclaves.
Goncalves.
Gone forever is what it is. You know what I mean?
His calves are gone.
Yeah.
So Yeah, suffer from the same affliction that many men do, and that is wanting to fuck a lesbian that won't fuck you because she's a lesbian, which is why he absolutely leaped at the opportunity when 19-year-old Mariana offered to give him a private lap dance at his house. She then used that crippling excitement to drug the poor guy with orange juice laced with sedative, then strangled him, and then they cut off his fingers to gain access to his bank account on his phone.
Yeah,
What?
he was thinking with his small head again. He forgot that the past 17 times he talked to her that she always brought up his inheritance.
Yeah.
He completely slipped his mind when she said lap dance.
Yeah, and how
But why didn't
disgusting
they just-
penises are.
Go
Yeah.
ahead and kill him at the beginning. I don't understand. Why did they need to take him apart piece by piece like that?
They didn't. They could have just tied him up and got, done.
I think they meant to say they were inspired by Audition or maybe Knives Out. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but they strangled him, killed him, dismembered him, and kept his head, forearms, hands, and feet for 5 days after murdering him. They tossed his torso
Trophies.
into the sea, and then, according to the Sun, they then tossed these body parts from some high cliffs in Portugal. They also went to Facebook for 3 days.
Absolute psychos.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
just like
absolutely.
dealing
One of
with
them
the
sure
body
is.
for days afterwards. Oh,
Yeah. So then they went on Facebook. They sent messages to try to trick his friends into thinking he was still alive. Unlucky for them, his torso washed ashore and provided evidence to the cops.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So now they're tried for murder, desecrating a body, computer fraud, using a stolen vehicle, and said all this was once again inspired by the TV show Dexter.
They're doing like videos. They're like holding up his decapitated head. They're like, "Hey, it's me,
Yeah.
still alive."
Very fucked up.
Right. If we blame Dexter, that's that's what happened here.
Right.
We watched too much Dexter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
This was bound to happen from these two.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what they thought.
There
they were
would have
gonna
been some other excuse if it wasn't Dexter.
We watched Sesame Street, and
One of them's just a psycho.
there
and
was
that's just
there was
the
an
bottom line.
eye for inheritance. Or whatever. Is that how
Unfair
you're
to
supposed-
Dexter.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's
not like
very
sex-
unfair to Dexter. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. On that note, that's going to do for
How much was his? How much was his inheritance?
$77,000.
Oh, so no,
Yeah.
they just wanted to kill him.
I have more
They just wanna
credit card
kill him.
debt than
Got
that.
it.
77 grand?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Times are tough, man. And that's going to do for Hard Factor. Please be sure to tune into our debate. We've covered that enough, so I'm not going to go. But again, the link is going to be on our Twitter and Instagram. We're going to start that at 8:30, pre-show 8:30 Eastern. So be sure to tune in. We hope you see you all later tonight. But until then, we want you to have a great fucking day.